Hello everybody, welcome back to Rosie TV. I'm your host Alex Haboob, and today I'm going to be recapping the Champions League games that happened this past week. The Champions League is finally back, and it had some very exciting fixtures in this first week of action. We're going to start off with PSG Barcelona, as Barcelona were dethroned, PSG beating them at home 4-0. Barcelona came into this game as the favorites, but PSG tore them limb from limb. Yes, Barcelona haven't been as good as they were last year, especially in the league, but no one would have expected this to happen. Barcelona were basically playing without a midfield this whole game, but let's not take away from PSG, as they played really well. The pressing game really worked for Unai Emery, as well as his attackers finishing their chances, which is definitely vital to beating someone like Barcelona. I want to highlight Sergio Busquets' game especially. Busquets is a main source for this Barcelona team. He's the one who links up defense to midfield and midfield to attack. But PSG played their game plan to perfection, and Busquets was basically non-existent throughout this whole game. And listen, if you kill the source, you have a much better chance of winning the game, and that's exactly what PSG did. And that's mainly down to Verratti and Rabiot. Rabiot was so explosive in that midfield and is finally looking to reach his full potential. And Verratti's already one of the best midfielders in the world. He can control the game from deep, but he also has legs on him, as well as being solid defensively. Those two need to get a lot of credit for this win. But we also have to give credit to the man who scored 2 goals on his birthday, and that's Angel Di Maria, former Real Madrid player, which I know would have definitely made this win even sweeter for him. He had 2 goals in this game. One was from an early free kick, but his second goal was definitely his best goal. It was a curler from distance that ended up in the top corner of the net. And I think finally, after a few years, he's finally showing his Real Madrid form, that form that he had in that Champions League campaign when they won La Decima. He struggled a little bit at Man United. Last season, he played very well for PSG, but this season has been a little bit slower for him with this new system that Unai Emery is playing. But this game was probably his best game so far this season. Now, we gave credit to the midfielders. We gave credit to Di Maria, who scored the most goals for PSG, but we also have to give credit to that defense. Kurzawa was solid at the back. He did his job perfectly, but there was no Thiago Silva there to partner Marquinhos. But that wasn't a problem for PSG, as Kimpembe had such a good game. He was dispossessing Barcelona players, played like a very experienced player when he's still so young. Let's not forget about Thomas Meunier, who took the ball from deep in his own half and just sprinted up the pitch and gave a great assist to Edinson Cavani. It was a great run, but where was the Barcelona midfield? Absolutely non-existent. They played him completely off the park. Not to mention the defense of Barcelona. Umtiti didn't have a great game. Piqué, on the other hand, for that Cavani goal, completely just let him walk through, as Cavani scored from the near post. And Piqué, I've been saying this for years, I never really rated him. As a defender, I don't think he's that great. Sure, he suits the Barcelona system of, playing it out from the back. He's a good ball-playing center back, similar to someone like Leonardo Bonucci. But as a defender, I just don't really rate him. I think he's been a big beneficiary of Barcelona having this mentality of offense is the best form of defense, meaning that he doesn't get pressured often. Now, early on in this game, when it was still 1-0, Andre Gomes had a good chance to tie the game, but it would end up getting saved. It wasn't a good shot. And although that could happen, I think this whole game was such a bad game for Andre Gomes. He doesn't really make any forward passes. He just plays it safe all the time. And I've been saying this for a while, that he doesn't look like a Barcelona player. Even at the Euros, I didn't think he had a particularly great Euros, although Portugal did so well. And even at Valencia last year, he was sure one of the few bright sparks from that team, but he still wasn't that good. They paid so much for him, and for me, I would just put Rakitic in there. I know Enrique and Rakitic have had some problems, but Andre Gomes, for me, is just not good enough. I also want to mention Cavani's goal rate this season. He's had 36 goals in 36 games this season, and it's finally time for the haters to shut up. I never understood the criticism toward Cavani. Every season that he's played, he's always scored goals. Yes, I understand he does miss chances, but he also does score a lot as well. At Napoli, he got the Capocannonieri the last season he played there. And even at PSG, when Zlatan was playing up top, on the wing, Edinson Cavani would still score you 12, 13, 14 goals a season, which are some fantastic numbers for someone who's playing in their wrong position on the wing. This season, they've comfortably moved on from Zlatan, and Cavani's been banging them in. And if you could say, use the excuse that Cavani's playing in Liga, and it's an easier league, which I understand it's an easier league, but it's still hard to score goals in a top 5 league in Europe. He also has 7 goals in the Champions League. So he's doing it on the biggest stage, and he's only the second top scorer, right below Messi, who has 10. A 4-0 deficit has never been overturned in a 2-legged tie in the Champions League, and I don't see any way out for Barcelona. Also want to recap Benfica Dortmund real quick. I didn't get to watch this full game, but I did get to see some bits and pieces. Benfica got the win at home 1-0. Aubameyang had a very poor game. He missed 2 open chances. He even missed a penalty, and it's been really uncharacteristic of him this season as he's had such a good league campaign. Benfica do have a chance to eliminate Dortmund. Yes, it wasn't a 3 or 4-0 lead that they have, but they didn't concede any away goals, which will definitely be key to the second leg. But Dortmund at home are definitely a different monster. They have probably the best atmosphere in all of Europe, and I think the players will definitely turn up in that game. Now let's go over Bayern Arsenal. It ended up 5-1 for Bayern. And yes, I know this happened last year in the group stage, the same scoreline, 5-1. But going into this game, I really didn't expect that to happen. Bayern haven't been fantastic this season, but they've still been very good. They haven't been thrashing teams. They've been winning 2-1, 1-0. So I did think they were going to win comfortably, but I thought it would have been a 2-1 or a 1-0 result. Robben opened up the scoring with a class goal, typical Arjen Robben, cutting in onto his left foot and just having a shot from distance. And we really haven't seen that in a while in a big Champions League game from Arjen Robben, as he's suffered through many injuries these past few years. And while the first 25 minutes was all Bayern Munich controlling the whole game, Arsenal did have chances in that first half. Xhaka and Ozil forced Neuer to make some good saves, and really, if they were just a bit lucky, they could have even went into the half with a lead. But at least they went into halftime level with Alexis Sanchez scoring. But in the second half, I don't know what Wenger told the guys at halftime. When Lewandowski scored his header from a great Philipp Lahm cross, the floodgates had definitely opened. The next goal was class as well. Lewandowski with an amazing back heel to Thiago, who was left completely open. I don't know what Mustafi was doing. I don't know what any of the defenders were doing there. And then the last goal, just to put salt on the wound, Oxlade-Chamberlain miscontrols the ball. Bayern pounds. Kimmich gives it to Thiago. Thiago was on a hat trick, but he was unselfish, gave it to Thomas Muller, who had been subbed on just a few minutes before, and Muller takes his chance and scores. And I think that goal will do a lot for Thomas Muller's confidence, as he hasn't been the same goal-scoring threat that he's been in past seasons. I also want to talk about Thiago in this game. Yes, he filled up the stat sheet, 2 goals, 1 assist, but he was absolutely fantastic in every single aspect of the game. His movement was fantastic. He could link up with players perfectly. And with Iniesta aging, Barcelona are probably kicking themselves for selling Thiago. Now this game, 5-1 Bayern, does this spell the end for Wenger? After 20 plus years in charge, I do think it's time for him to go. He's reached his ceiling with this team. He's not going to accomplish any more than he's already accomplished. And they've just been on a drought for so long, and they just need a change in the club. I also want to quickly go over Real Madrid-Napoli. Real Madrid ended up winning 3-1 at the Bernabeu, but Napoli nicked that away goal. Real Madrid came into this game the favorites, but they'll also go into the San Paulo as favorites as well. But that away goal for Napoli will definitely help. Let's not forget last year in the round of 16, Roma had a lot of chances against Real Madrid, and you could see guys like Salah miss their chances. If Napoli are opportunistic in this game, they could definitely upset Real Madrid. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's my Champions League recap for this week. I'll also be doing one for next week as well. Tell me what you thought of every single game. Do you think Wenger should go? Do you think it's maybe the end for Luis Enrique? Does Barcelona have a chance? Does Napoli have a chance? Please let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any suggestions for any future football videos you want me to make, please leave that in the comment section below as well. Please like, share, and subscribe for more football content, and thank you for watching.